Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Monday morning meditation. So glad you are here with me today to take this time at the beginning of our week and really at the beginning of our month, our first Monday in October, getting ready for fall and just being together and taking our meditation practice into the new month. One of the comments that my spiritual teacher, Jane Elizabeth Hart, who is the founder and spiritual leader of Center for Enlightenment, that I quote a lot. And I always have a quote from her work in our email that goes out with our link every week. One of the comments she makes on a regular basis about meditation is that it doesn't matter what your meditation is like, it only matters that you do it. You just sit there. Even if you feel like nothing's happening, you are building your muscle memory around your meditation time so that the next time you sit down to meditate, you are right there with it and that your meditation space supports you. You get a feel for um, just sitting down and being in that time, in that place every day. Maybe you feel that on Mondays when we meditate together. You have your chair where you sit. We have our Zoom room that we meet in, and we just come together and have this space. I know this is my meditation chair, this the big red chair. And I know that when I sit down to meditate here, it's like I sit down and my body knows what to do. I've got my meditation blanket and I've got um, my my headphones that I listen to music and sometimes I don't, but um, I just kind of do whatever is needed in the moment. I've got my pens next to me and my notepads for journaling and just everything is set. This is my meditation station, and I know that um, that keeping my meditation commitment is the most important thing I can do for my meditation practice, and that is true. I have my coffee cup. I don't usually, I'm not usually holding my coffee cup. It's usually next to me, but I don't know if you can see that. It's backwards on my screen, but I love this. It says, "Thank you for being," and that is what we are here to do every Monday. Is just be in our meditation time and keeping our commitment, whether you're with us on screen, which is always fun, or listening on YouTube later, or just having your own meditation time at home. I know we have a lot of people who can always make Mondays, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just about taking that time to keep that commitment. So we are going to keep our Monday morning meditation commitment today and simply just be, just be. One thing that has stood out to me about this beingness is that our minds can be so busy and so active sometimes that that being is difficult, or we feel restless and we just want to jump out of our skin or at least our chair and go do anything else but to sit for our meditation time. That's a great time to do some journaling and just write out what is going on in my mind right now. What am I afraid of? What do I feel like I'm missing? What do I feel happening on the inside? What is that anxiousness, that restlessness saying? And sometimes it helps just to get it out, and maybe it gives some information like, oh, I've got A, B, and C all going on this week, and it's disrupting my ability to just be. Or maybe it's just all the reasons we don't want to sit down and be quiet. And that's okay too. We just let it out. I don't want to do this. I don't want to sit here. This is boring. Okay, great. All those all those comments in our heads that are we're not the only ones who have ever felt that way. I know in one of our Monday morning meditations over the last couple of years, I've mentioned that sometimes it's boring to sit for our 20, 25, 30 minutes that we do during our Monday meditation or when we're on our own. And sometimes being bored is okay. It gives the nervous system an opportunity just to get used to the stillness because we keep ourselves so incredibly busy in our culture, in our world most of the time. So to step back and just be is can feel disconcerting and different, out of the comfort zone for that nervous system that is used to much activity. So it's okay, whatever we're feeling about it, we are just going to go with it and notice what we're feeling as we sit back in our chairs and take a couple of deep breaths. That's our signal to our mind body system that we are switching gears from doing to being. And just notice any thoughts going on in your mind right now. Just notice them. Notice what they sound like, what they say, what they feel. I'm just going to let them pass on through. We notice them and we let them pass through. And now we take some just gentle, normal pace breaths from the belly. Just noticing that the air is coming in through the work of the diaphragm instead of the lungs. And the diaphragm is simply a muscle that is under the bottom of the rib cage and above the stomach. It's where we have hiccups, actually. And we just use that muscle to pull the air in, which extends the belly a little bit. Not a ton, because we're just doing natural breath. And when we breathe out, the belly drops, just relaxes. When we pay attention to this belly breath, we don't have to force anything. We don't have to make the belly expand. It just does when we breathe in. We don't have to pull it back towards the spine. It just gently relaxes. And if you'd like to use the quick breath count to 4, breathing in and counting to 4, breathing out, I invite you to do that. It's such a wonderful exercise in regulating the mind body system on a physiological level, not just for our quiet mind meditation time, but just overall, it helps the whole mind-body system synchronize. Breathing in to the count of 4, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. That's the pace at which you wanted to go. Pull that air in to that count and release it to that same count of 4, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. And if it helps to put like putting the tip of a finger on the top of where I feel my heart is located, my physical heart, right at the top, and we're going to let our attention rest there today, letting that be our center. Although if you find a place that feels more grounded and calm and you want to let your attention rest in a different part of the body, a different area, that's fine too. Perhaps your feet on the floor, your hands in your lap. One of the things I was learning about this heart center this past week is that it is often thought of as our love center because it's our heart, and we associate the heart with love and Valentine's Day and romantic love and feeling love for a pet or a family member or a good friend. But what I learned about it is that it's so much more than that. It's our center of harmony and balance. If you're into chakras, which I'm really only loosely familiar with, it's the center chakra of the 7 energy centers in the body that our brothers and sisters and others of the East have studied and been aware of for thousands of years. It's the center of balance and harmony. So as we let our attention be in that center of balance and harmony as we breathe, we can understand why putting our focus there helps to synthesize our mind-body system. We're just going to breathe through the belly, letting our attention be in that center. And if your mind wanders, it's okay. Just bring your attention back to your breath, back to your center. If it's helpful, you can even tell your mind, your body, thank you for just being. Thank you for being. Thank you to the mind for all its activities, and thank you to the mind for just being. Thank you to the body for just being. When we check in with the breath, making sure that it's calm and still coming from the belly. You don't have to over focus on it. After a while, it simply does it on its own, pulling that breath in from the movement of the diaphragm. When our mind body system gets calm, that's what is in charge of our breath, is that diaphragm movement. It's our sleeping breath, our resting breath. But sometimes it's helpful to check in with it to make sure we're breathing, that our breath hasn't stopped or become shallow in the chest. Sometimes that's a sign that our mind is involved with something. So checking in with our breath gives the mind a break, as well as restarting that calm breath practice. This beingness is so good for the mind and body, emotions. It allows the body to rest differently than if we're kicking back, watching TV, differently even when we're sleeping. It's a conscious, present stillness that's alert and lets the body know that it can be alert and feel grounded, calm, safe. This being gives the mind an opportunity to know how to be still, to know how to let go of all those thoughts that go through. Now I invite you to continue this time of meditation if you are able to and feel so moved this morning. If you need to go about your day, take a couple of deep breaths, maybe stretch a little bit, let your mind body system know you're changing gears again. And so glad to have you all here with me today. I look forward to seeing you next week and enjoy your practice this week of just being. Thank you for just being. Have a great week. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.